Hello everyone, it's me, Enan63, and I have just pre-ordered the Nintendo Switch 2, and this will be my story on how was my overall experiments, pre-ordering the Nintendo Switch 2. I pre-ordered it on April 25th this year and stuff. The reason why I'm like 5 days late, it's because I was busy, with, other things, busy with the Undertale and stuff, and finishing up the Let's Play for that, and also university work. But now I think I have the time to finally showcase and share off my story and stuff. So here we go. Now, thankfully, no, it was not anything negative. It was all pretty much a positive experiments. So I ordered mine at Walmart and stuff. Now, the only negative thing that I felt was I was a bit worried because again, since Walmart I believe was one of the stores that it gets really sold out a lot and stuff. But thankfully, at my local Walmart, the Nintendo Switch 2 was still in sales. I went in the morning, I believe, before the opening hour and stuff. That's my little tip I have for you guys. I suggest you wake up a bit early if you want to like pre-order a video game console like this and stuff. And yeah, but I remember there was like a pretty massive line who were wanting to get the Nintendo Switch 2. Was there like 20? No, I know it wasn't actually 20 people. No, it was probably more than that. But I haven't seen that many hype for a video game console since the Sony PlayStation 5 back in 2020, which was, holy crap, 5 years ago already. Jesus Christ, I'm getting old. But basically what I'm trying to say and stuff is that it's like just really kind of cursed and kind of amazing to see this much hype finally for a video game console, especially for the past few years. I won't be naming out basically anyone about this, but people have been saying that video games been going downhill and stuff, which I don't really necessarily agree because there's the indie scene, which is amazing, but I assume they're talking about the Western AAA scene, but I don't necessarily 100% agree with that either. There's some good Western AAA games, like that Elder Scrolls remake, which was pretty dang good. I really liked it. And of course, the upcoming GTA 6 and stuff. Maybe it may not have that same like impact as 4 or 5 did, but I think it'll still be a pretty good game and stuff. And yeah, but back to the Nintendo Switch 2 and stuff. But yeah, that was my pre-order for the Nintendo Switch 2. And once after I did, yeah, this is the one I did right here because if you go to the official page, you can find it here in Walmart. You can also do Best Buy, GameStop, and Target. I think GameStop might be a little better, but for my local Walmart, it's just as good as, getting it from GameStop. And yeah, stuff. I didn't buy the Pro Controller. I own probably the Pro Controller or buy the camera because I'm already fine with the Joy-Cons. The Pro Controller is fine, but I think the Joy-Cons, I just prefer them more and stuff. And yeah, the one I bought was the bundle version and stuff because I wanted to save up money and stuff like that. And yeah, because guys, since the games are gonna be $80, $70, or no, I don't think not $90. Hopefully not. But since that's why it's probably the smart move to get the bundle to save up money because that I don't agree with Nintendo. Why are you like raising up the price? I know it's probably because of like the inflammation stuff. Please no politics. Just because I mentioned something that's a reference to politics doesn't mean I want you guys to bring up any politics. Okay, this is video games. But yeah, that's probably the reason why Nintendo has to do this and stuff. But I just simply cannot agree with that. It's just not good. So I bought the bundle just to save up money and just be on the safe side and stuff. So yeah. And yeah, once I got the Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order, after waiting in so much long line and stuff, I finally did. I walked out in the Walmart, and once I drove back to my home and stuff, oh my god, man, it was just so much stress. But it was not like negative. It was actually like positive, but just the feeling of holy crap, finally I got the Nintendo Switch 2. Well, pre-order and stuff at long last. Since in here in the US it's like $400 to $500. The bundle was $500 and stuff, and I believe up in Canada, well, I've never been to that country. I think it's even more expensive. But any of my Canadian viewers who live there, is the Switch 2 more expensive or less expensive here in the US? I'll at least be appreciated, be curious to know. So yeah. And yeah, that's basically my story of pre-ordering the Nintendo Switch 2. It was pretty stressful, but it wasn't like a negative stress. And yeah, I haven't seen this much hype since the Sony PlayStation 5 back in 2020, and yeah, stuff like that. I didn't buy it because I was a Nintendo guy at the time. I didn't really get into PlayStation until last year, thanks to, Astrobot, but also, watching some PS3 gameplay videos like Uncharted, Last of Us, and Little Big Planet and stuff. And yeah. But anyways, guys, yeah, that's basically my Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order story. It overall wasn't really that bad, actually, surprisingly. It was actually honestly really exciting, but it wasn't like a scary, exciting, getting drowned in the crowd and stuff. No, it was actually really awesome, and it was really cool to see, other people having my same experiments outside, not on the internet, but seeing people in real life, being excited for the Switch 2, but also giving out some fair, good, negative criticism feedback, like, hey, the prices are a bit too much for these games, And yeah, that's good. So yeah, very amazing experiments I had, honestly. And I did chat with some people in the line and stuff, and it was overall really good and stuff. So yeah, that's my Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order story. I hope you guys enjoy it. Enjoy my story and stuff. And yeah, so just a little tip. If you guys want to pre-order the Nintendo Switch 2, it's not too late. I think you guys can still pre-order the Nintendo Switch 2. But my tip would be, do it like, you can do it like any store or so, but I would kind of recommend maybe pick, basically, I think, maybe GameStop for this situation, because, no, my local Walmart didn't have any problem because they still had the pre-orders in stock when I went there in the morning. But I think Walmart is known to have it sold out pretty fast. So maybe I recommend you guys do it at GameStop. If you want to do it at Walmart, that's fine. You don't have to listen, but I would just suggest just do it on a GameStop just to be a bit more on the safe side and stuff. And also, I would just recommend go there once after you do that and stuff. You can either do it in person or do it online. Go there before the store opens so you can save up a lot of time and save, the fear of the Switch 2 being sold out. Make sure you do this method, guys, and then you can get the Switch 2 pre-order. It's honestly not that really difficult. It's actually pretty easy, honestly, and stuff, and yeah. So yeah, do these tips, guys, and enjoy the Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order, and yeah. So yeah, I got the Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order, and I can't wait to play Mario Kart World on June 5th, 2025, which isn't that far from here, and I'm going to be finished up with my first year of university. Oh yeah, I need to go back and do some university work after this and stuff. And yeah, so yeah, I can't wait to finish my university in May, and I can't wait to play the Nintendo Switch 2 summer vacation. It's going to be the best summer I ever had in my entire life, right next up to, like the 2018 summer vacation. So yeah. Alright, this is Enan63’s saying one final goodbye and farewell, and that was my overall Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order story. So yeah, this is Enan63’s saying farewell, and I'm ready for Nintendo Switch 2.